Well, welcome everyone to the TriStar Career Compact dedication ceremony. We're very excited to have you here today, and we thank the many people who are involved in this project and will continue for the next several months as we finish things up. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of Allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. One thing with teachers, it's easy to talk in front of students, but with people it's a little scary. So in college I took speech classes and I flunked them. So you're getting that part of it. It's been 2 years today that groundbreaking was broken for this new state-of-the-art facility. I don't think few people could envision there would be a day at TriStar to be under one roof. On February 11th, 2015, at a TriStar Superintendent's meeting, Mr. Mike Coleman from Marion kind of joked with Mr. Steiner about being under one roof. Well, Mrs. Bogey and Brenda from Minster said, we won't be serious for a half hour. Normally we're serious at board meetings, but this got a bit more serious. So after discussion, the TriStar superintendents told us to look into it, and our 9 schools offered their support. We've come a long way from that day. On our opening day, Mr. Stepp, our assistant director, talked about how our students are pioneers. They take the chance of leaving their home schools to study career tech. It's not easy leaving their comfort of their home school. I would also add that our students are also visionaries. Along with the superintendents from that day in 2015, but I think the first visionaries for TriStar were Wayne Miller, former Coldwater superintendent, Frank Dennings, former St. Mary's superintendent, and Ralph Stelzer, former Celina superintendent. They came up with the idea to create the TriStar Career Compact in the early 80s. Their vision led to the creation of TriStar in the fall of 1983, with the 6 other schools being added in 1985. Along with those 3 superintendents and Dave Brunswick, Dave, you want to stand up? You probably don't, but you will. He was the first director, and we hang around a long time. He was almost 20 years, and I'm getting to that point. They created one of the most successful compacts in the state. They all played a huge part in getting us where TriStar is today, and they set the foundation. They had the hard part of making the compact work and convincing the public that it would work. There are so many people that think in a project like this, and like a bridge where there are large and small parts, everyone has an important part in the project. And I truly apologize if I do not mention someone, but it's totally unintentional. The community, thank you for trusting us and seeing the value of career technical education in all Lacey and Mercer counties by passing the levy by 75%. Truly incredible. You allowed us to think outside the box of this facility, and for that we are truly grateful. I think if you walk around today, you'll see some outside the box thinking that we don't do in all Lacey and Mercer County all the time. And I think we did that. The students have been appreciative too. Here are some comments we've gotten so far from students. Now, these are high school juniors and seniors, so think this through. You want to learn. It's so professional. It feels like college. We feel like adults. Apologize. Students have come up to us and thanked us. How cool is that? We tell them you need to tell your parents, your grandparents, and aunts and uncles for voting, because that's probably some of your gas money is being spent on the tax code here. So, but no, seriously, and I picked up 1 piece of paper in the parking lot so far. They're taking care of it, and I think that's something to be proud of. And all the students, not just this year, but all the students who have ever been TriStar, because it's a big deal to leave your home school and the comfort of your home school. TriStar teachers, cannot thank you enough. They had many meetings to design the room, and moving in only 3 weeks was a challenge to say the least, and we're still adding stuff. Teachers are here many days in the summer and continue to do a great job as we still work around the bugs, working on some construction. This includes former teachers. You laid the groundwork. Our facilities weren't the best, but you helped pass this because of the success of what you do in the classroom. Teachers make the programs, and you've done that. Custodians, I think they're up there. For getting first day today ready. They were here the night we had our open house the first night. They stayed an extra 3-4 hours just to get it done. And that's truly, they take pride in it, and that we love that. That's something we need to do, and I can't thank them enough. Ryan, Sue, Joe, and Marcia in our office. The extra work they did this last couple of years. I know they're in the skybox up there, a couple of them. And, this extra work that the meetings and stuff, we didn't add anybody and staff, so it's pretty cool. The work that took people, spending extra hours coming in today. I can tell you the last 3 months, there's been a lot of extra time put in. And that's just so nice to have that. Keith Gudorf, our tech person, so fortunate that we could have him because there's a lot of technology. I get a cell phone, but that's about what I can operate. We use a lot of technology here, and then the use and how the state let us have all this technology. It's just neat. Local companies, businesses and companies, the support we see from local companies was incredible. From donating to the levy campaign, going to meetings to sell the project, to donating to the building project. Please see an insert of all the people donated. We raised almost $2 million in donating equipment and supplies, and we never sent out one letter. They came to us. When I was at that director, we had to beg people to give to the program a little bit. But this is so cool they did that. 49 degrees, a little shout out, all the colors and some of the sayings. We appreciate all that. TriStar Advisory Board. We're behind us from the start. A lot of them are in here. Can you please stand? We're not in it for everybody, but our advisory board has a lot of people. Levy co-chairs, Brian Steyer and Greg Lefevre. I saw Greg. There, stand up, Greg. Brian. Greg probably knew it. My first year teaching, I coached him. I never thought he'd be a co-chair at TriStar. Hope a little better at this than I was a coach and stuff. So, talk about the former teachers. I saw a lot of them here, and they helped the levy community. Now, Todd Smith. Todd, you stand up, because I want everybody to see what you did. We had a big sign that we had to go from place to place, and I was following one day before recovery. It was on 2 wheels as the wind hit. So we're just hoping that would never fall over. But he helped bring the sign everywhere. Superintendents and school boards. Special mention to the current members. But since TriStar was created, some of you, I'm known to 80s and 90s, that wasn't easy. I mean, TriStar just looked a little differently in career tech. But you fought through it, and I can't thank you enough. Special thanks to Ken Sneezing, Celina Superintendent, and the Celina Board, who take the role as fiscal agents. That involves a lot more. They do a lot of extra work as far as passing things, getting approval, because we're technically under Celina City Schools. That creates a little extra work for them, and I can't thank them enough for that. Tom Summers, school treasurer at Celina, I'll be forever in debt because he's done so much work on this. And thank God he went to one in St. Mary's, so it'll make our life a lot easier going through this. Fane and Howard. Cannot thank them enough for making this one-of-a-kind building. This was a custom facility. You had to understand, schools are schools, K-12s, and it's cool, it's neat. Every room in here was custom, special. It was welding, machine trades, graphics, CDI. Nothing was the same. The furniture is also different. So they took a lot of time. What was really neat, they continued to wrap up by saying, this is your building. They had some ideas that were different sometimes, but ultimately it was our building, our choice, and we truly appreciate that. They did offer their opinions, but they did not force them on us. Another thing, there's very few change orders in this facility. And that's incredible when you think of how many things are here, and that saved us several $100,000 that we were able to put back into the building because we didn't have change orders. And talking to Ian, who's from the Ohio School Facility, because we had a good architect that had things done right the first time. Also, I'd like to thank Brad, John Gladden, Brandon Minker, Doug Rich, Steve Hollick, Steve Wisniewski, got that, Rose Layfeld, and all their staff. Many were former TriStar students. And John kind of did the initial signing. He was here in July. So I asked him, I said, John, does this building look like you designed it? Well, yeah, of course. Why? And I said, well, he talked to us tonight because that's why I do the job I do. This is what it's supposed to look like. Good. I said it was great because I agree. So, Peterson Construction. They were the construction manager risk. Don Birchfield, Glenn Leonard, Glenn Lehman, Brett Swin, Dan Collins, all their entire crew. They were amazing to work with and still are. And tried to get Don up here. He didn't want to talk. He said he had an extra planer or something. Or you don't even want the rooms. Where's Don at? Way back there, yeah. No, they were great. When we did the interview process, they build buildings. That's what they do. And they've done a wonderful job and continue to follow up. We've had fun with them. We've had good discussions, but I don't think anything the top. The All Ways and Mercer County Commissioners, they offer their support and even did a press conference in support of us, which I think is kind of unheard of. We did a day where St. Mary's the Danes going. They saw that the skilled labor is needed, and they supported us. Supported us for the special election, and that's something we'll never forget. Rice State Lake Campus, the interim Dean Dan Green, Dr. J, and Gretchen Rentz did several things. Allowed access for a driveway to save us some money, working with them on future projects where we met 2 or 3 times. Just can't thank them enough. The Western Ohio Education Foundation, the WOC Board, that allowed us some easements, which is huge for us, so we could get the sewer and water. E. Smith from Pappas Associates, they're our legislative associates and services where we have our compact group. And when this all started, because quite honestly, we didn't know where to start. I'm going to talk a little bit more when Mr. Favors up here. Where do you go? Because it was illegal for us to run 11. They were very helpful, and I think we had fun with it most of the time when we tried to do that. The media, WCSM, Even Leader, Daily Standard, LIO, Channel 7, WKKI. I can't say enough about them. And sometimes you get a little heat. There was one time, 7 days in a row during the election, we were in the newspaper somewhere. 7 days in a row, all positive stuff. And I apologize if I missed anyone else here, but Steve Baker's come down. In fact, Channel 7's down here at 5 o'clock the first day of school. I checked followed at 4:30, but that was a little ridiculous. I thought getting up at 5 here, but that was cool, and a lot of people saw it. Renton Fishbowl and the Fishbowl Farms, that allowed us to be, I think, the perfect spot. I don't think there's a career center in Ohio that's inside or across the road from a four-year university. This is the opportunity for our kids. And last but not least, Darryl Park, stand up. Darryl was a former from Ohio Department of Education several years ago. He was when TriStar started. If you remember, it's groundbreaking. He was there. He gave a presentation. The state of Ohio did not want this to happen. And thanks to him and Harry McFerrin, I know Harry's here, was an automotive teacher, the state fought for years, not just to work. Mr. Brunswick told me the story, how many times they'd go meet a Bob Evans somewhere. Before school started, they would be back already because they couldn't meet. The OD couldn't know that Darryl was meeting. And they said, you're doing fine. Well, then I think, Harry, you won the state skills competition automotive. And I won't say what Darryl told the state to do, but they never bothered us again, from what I understand. So we owe Harry a lot, I think, but Darryl, I know you were in our backyard, you supported us from Parkway originally, when you started your career, so thank you for coming up today. It means a lot to us. I looked up at about 13 minutes, so I had about 2 minutes long. So this time, we'd like to introduce several speakers. First of all, Chris Fall. Chris is our TriStar Advisory Board Chairperson and a member of the St. Mary's School Board.
Oh my. I walk in here today and I see a lot of new faces. I see small faces, and I could have worn Colonel underwear today or whatever, but I'm getting chills when I walk in here and I see all these faces. And that time and time again, coming out here, I just get chills. So I'm really excited about what we have going on here. And this probably wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for 2 years ago when I decided to run for school board in St. Mary's. So I'm so grateful for the voters in St. Mary's that voted for me to be on the St. Mary's Board of Education. And I'm very grateful for, at that time, the board president gave me a call and asked me if I would be on the advisory board for TriStar. And he says, I know you're very passionate about it, would you be willing to do this? And I said, absolutely. So I'm very grateful for voters in St. Mary's. Very grateful for the board that chose me to do this. Very grateful for my wife that allows me to be a part of all this. And then the advisory board that I'm on here at TriStar. There's 12 of us, I believe, that represent the 9 school districts. They're great to work with, and if I have any complaints, I don't think I get to meet with them often enough when we have our meetings. So I'm very, very grateful for that. So TriStar, what it really means to me personally, I know my wife back in, I think she graduated in 1987, so the early days of TriStar, she was in IOE, which I think is, I couldn't believe what she told me, intensive office education. And probably one of the biggest skill sets that she takes from that is or shorthand, which I don't even know if that is still taught anymore. Shorthand. I mean, we got notes all over the house from over the years and the different committees that we've been on, and they just like a bunch of chicken scratches. And that's her shorthand, and she knows what it means, and I do not. So she could be just right about me. I told you to your face. I even said, yeah, I was going to try to be funny. I had a niece that went through the med prep program here at TriStar. Now she's an RN and just recently got a job in Fort Wayne. So she benefited obviously from our med prep program here. And then of course I've been in manufacturing for 30-some years. And I've seen, from talking to individuals out on the production floor, the need for skilled machinists, welders, and then students from our rep tech program. I'm seeing the benefits of that from where I work at, and the demand is definitely there for the present and probably for the foreseeable future. So I'm really proud of those programs here and the rest of them. Then I'd like to wrap it up, keep mine nice and short because I didn't take a speech in college. A quote from Malcolm X: "Education is the passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today." I guess my takeaway from that quote is you need to be prepared for life. Education prepares you for many things that you'll do out there in the real world. So that's my speech for today. Thank you.
Next on our list, Jared had me called this morning. He had a family issue. Nothing urgent, but not serious. So I know Jared, you saw a lot. He's very supportive of this. He was my person the day after. The superintendent said, "Why don't you go find somebody or figure this out?" That's sort of our go-to person. Jared's been very involved along trying to get this and what ideas we had and stuff. So very, very supportive. Next, and I gotta say it a second time, Steve Wilson-Snisky, the executive director of Planning and Housing.
Thanks, Tim. What a great day this is. Speaking for Fanning Highway, we are proud and honored and excited to have been part of this very unique project. This was not a typical project for us. It was about 3 years ago. We had a meeting with Brian and Tim. Tim said to us, "If you design a building that looks like a regular school, you're fired." So message delivered. We're still here. I would like to thank all the people involved. I'd like to thank Peterson Construction for the teamwork that we had throughout this project and a job well done. I'd like to thank the OFCC, and in particular, our project manager, Ann Frost, for her patience and guidance in getting us through this unique project, and especially the tireless efforts of Brian and Tim, constantly pushing their vision, and I believe it was well worth it, all the pushing that they did. This design was a unique collaboration of 2 counties, 9 school districts, dozens of teachers, and I went back and looked, and from Fanning Howie there were 37 different people who in one way, shape, or form touched this project, which is an amazing number of people. And then speaking of numbers, I also looked back at how many drawings we gave Peterson Construction to do the project. There were 263 sheets of drawings, so lots of information went into putting all of this together. We design a lot of school buildings, but it's not often that we really get the opportunity to directly help students to get into careers and into the workforce. As a local business, Fanning Howie is very proud of this facility, and we hope that it will be the springboard for our local youth to transform from students into members of our community workforce. Thank you very much.
Next is Ann Frost. She's the project manager for the Ohio Facilities Construction Commission. And early on, this was a different project. And a couple times, and I know one time, we had just, I think, selected who was new things, and she said, Tim, I gotta come down. Well, you're gonna come down Friday afternoon. You're driving from Columbus on a Friday afternoon. This is not good. This can't be good. Did somebody say something? Didn't know. So the next 2 days, me and Mr. Dever, no sleep. It was horrible. And she comes in next day and trying to chit chat. So what's the problem? Let's get to it. She goes, do you have a problem? I go, no. Well, we thought maybe yes. No, it's been great. I will say this, that every state agency was just like they were with this project. The state did that much better. And it's not a slam on anyone else, but they've been great. This was a different type project, and they listened to us. You know, the furniture alone, if you look in here, everyone's different type of furniture. They understood that. They knew this building. I think at one point, we didn't have a student union. Well, I think they said, well, we need some more kids to eat. Yeah, probably do. So they did that. So I can't express enough thank you on behalf of everybody, but Ann Frost, project manager.
Good afternoon. My name is Ann Frost. So in 2016, I met Mr. Busher and Mr. Stella from TriStar, Dr. Penn and Mr. Summer from Celina City Schools, a number of board members, staff, volunteers all from this area, and I knew that this was going to be a different project. It's not that many people involved. This was not going to be one of the 1,220 schools that have already opened in Ohio with OSCC's assistance, or one of the 84 buildings that is already in construction and design in Ohio. This is going to be a unique building, a tremendous building with a lot of purpose. Together as a team, we hired Fannie Hoy Architects to design the space, Peterson Construction Company and their numerous and wonderfully skilled subcontractors to build it, and Stan and Associates to commission the building. We've consolidated a school with 6 existing buildings in 3 different locations into a beautiful space. A space that welcomes students, more students than ever, and provides a bright learning environment very much reflective of these students' careers and their future. So through all of our hard work in these last 3 years to make this a success, I can honestly say that we had fun. This was a great project. And I think in every meeting we found something to laugh about, mostly at the expense of young Brett back there. But it was fun. You know, lots of people can build buildings, but we, and all of the efforts of us here in this room today, we built a great building. And this is going to be a proud legacy for the state of Ohio. And I just say thank you for letting me and OFCC be part of this.
Next, the Honorable Matt Huffman. He's Senator from Ohio 12th District, and I really have no stories on him. One of the first times he was running for, I went to the All-Base County Trustees meeting, and he introduced himself there, and then he was running for the Senate, and I was talking to the trustees about TriStar. So, Mr. Huffman, you're very fortunate, I guess. So, thank you for coming today. We appreciate it.
Well, I like to go in places where people don't know that much about me. There's probably, well, Don Bergfeld's in the back. He graduated the same year from St. John's as I did from LCC. So there are some, and I know some University of Cincinnati stories about Don, but I won't get into that right now. It's really wonderful to be here. One of the things I've learned in the legislature in the past 11 years is that education, especially education, it's probably true of most things in our world, but especially education is rapidly changing. What it means to be a high school graduate, what the purpose of education is about, especially as we get to the 16, 17, into the early 20s, what that means. And the kind of merging together of those lines from a place like TriStar to a community college, and those things we need to begin to start thinking about. And what a better place to do it here in Mercer County, Ohio. I mean, this is a great place for innovation. A long time ago, none of us were here, I don't think, 170 years ago, this is where the canal came, as you know, and they first offshore oil rig, as people in Mercer County know that, no one else. Whenever you ask them that trivia question, they think it's in Alaska or the Gulf of Mexico. And so these innovators, these pioneers that came here to Mercer County and did all those great things, the creators of Crown Equipment and Minster Machine and places like that, are really part of this great day. Obviously, all of us are here. And you think about those people who are looking down upon us, saying, you know, well done. I don't mean these people looking down upon us. People in heaven looking down upon us. It's just a fantastic day. And the significance, I think, really is that the changes that have to happen in education, and this is going to sound familiar to some of my superintendents here, it really can't happen on a global basis or federal, even a statewide basis. It's just not nimble enough. There are a lot of smart people here who've done, built tremendous companies and families and communities. And so innovation has to happen at the local level. It has to happen right here in Celina, Ohio, and boy, did it happen. So of the people sitting here in this room, I had the least to do with the success, but somehow I got to come up and talk about it. But I'm very proud to be here today. I'm very proud of the community, the resolution from the Senate, which I'd like to present to you, Director. Thanks for including me today. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Senator, for taking the time this nice Sunday to come down. Next, Mr. Keith Faber, and at the time he was president of the Ohio Senate and now currently auditor of Ohio. I talked earlier about how a bridge and there's nuts and bolts and there's big beams. He was a big beam person in this project. When we went and talked how we could go about this, talked to Will and me, we set up an appointment with Mr. Faber and went to him in his office in Columbus and said our idea. He said, that's common sense. Yeah, we think kind of is common sense. We're government. We don't do common sense. That was the exact answer. But he said, give me 2 weeks. Give me 2 weeks. And he did. And I don't know, the law was, that's my allowed to say it? Okay, thank you. It's been out there, but some people don't look for it. Yes, you're wrong past, that's right, Pete. It allows a compact that has 9 school districts in 2 different counties, between 40 and 50,000 people in each county, with one of the counties being inside another state that wants to pass a .95 mil for 15 years to build a pure compact, or build a compact. Never mentioned TriStar. Guess what career center that was? It was TriStar. And then Nick Davis, the treasurer at the time, we had to do the final things with our bonding agent, Omar. We're down to 5 minutes. They were on the Senate, they had a vote. And Nick calls me and says, got to get an answer. So Omar was in a meeting, and Nick says, get a secretary, says, there's a meeting, get him out of the meeting. And I got to my cell phone, we're down to 4.5 minutes. Basically, Omar, a great guy, he likes to talk. Omar, we need an answer. Does this work? And yeah, it does. So we called back. I had him speed out. We called Mr. Faber's aide. We beat it by 2.5 minutes. And we had, got it approved and everything. So without Keith, this would not have happened. And we got the opportunity to vote for it. And today, he had a big, huge, if not biggest part of this. So in true appreciation, thank you, Keith, and on behalf of all the students in Mercer County, thanks for your help.
Tim left out was he never told me this was going literally across the street from me. I said, if he told me that, I might have had some reservations. Now, all seriousness, welcome to the neighborhood. This is literally across the street from my office and across the street from my house. This is such a huge addition to our workforce and job force training. When I first had the first meeting with Tim, I had a conversation with Jared Evan. And I'm really sorry Jared's not here. He needs a lot of credit. So if you see Jared, the commissioners are here who are, I guess they're his boss. I will tell you, make sure you reach out to Jared. He does such a great job in our community. I think Matt would agree. Whenever we talk, when I was in the we talked about economic development or workforce in this area, Jared Ebbing was the first person we called and talked to. I know he's still on Matt's short, quick dial list. And Matt, I can tell some stories.
Please don't.
You guys have a great state senator. I mean, I can only say the legislative delegation here after I left the legislature, I'm proud. Matt gave one of the best floor speeches I ever heard in this last budget. And so I think the world of him, and I think the world of the rest of the legislators who represent this area. But let me tell you a little bit about what this means to this community. I was literally this summer talking to a young person who was struggling with what they wanted to do and what classes they were going to take in their home school. And they were talking about where they wanted to go in their future, and they wanted to go into the medical field. And they hadn't thought of TriStar. They hadn't thought about it. And my wife, just on a whim, suggested, well, have you thought about looking at TriStar, because it's right there across from Wright State Lake campus. You can get your CCP courses there. You can get what you need in anatomy and physiology here at TriStar. They looked into it, and that's a new student this year at TriStar. That's a student who's going to be working towards their career needs as a junior in high school. When I go out and talk to business leaders all over our communities, whether it's in Auglaize County or Mercer County, for years, what's the number one thing we heard? We need skilled, trained workers. I was traveling this about 2 months ago in another area of the state, went to another career center, and looked at their state-of-the-art CNC machines, their state-of-the-art robotic equipment, their state-of-the-art equipment. You know what? Your equipment's all more state-of-the-art. The fact of the matter is, I don't know of anybody else who has a close partnership with a four-year college, their engineering, their workforce training program, and literally across the street have the capability that this facility represents. I was out talking to another business leader here over in Auglaize County not very long ago. And they were talking about how important it is to have the workforce for the next century today in Auglaize and Mercer County. We have that. Now, yes, you could say we represent some of the lowest unemployment in the state. But what we need are those skills in our workforce and our kids that are going to give them the opportunity not just to beat Indiana, but to beat India and China. This facility is on the front line of providing those skills. I had a very little part. I just happened to be at the right place at the right time. But the fact of the matter is, this is something I can be proud of. I got to sit across the street and watch the construction going on. And, you know, other than the fact that they came over and started digging in my yard to put water in it, I was a little worried about that. And then they left a great big hill they didn't fix, but they fixed it. All of those things make this community stronger, make our area better. And it's one of those areas that I want to reach out and say thank you to all of those school district superintendents, all of those school district boards, and all of those academic and educational leaders who had the vision to take the risk, to put this on the ballot. And then to my fellow citizens who voted for it, God bless you. You have vision for our kids and grandkids. This is something we can be proud of, not just today, but for generations to come. Thank you for having me.
And our last speaker is the superintendent of public instruction. He's been down several times, very supportive of career tech. It's been 1 year, he took, I think every month or twice a month, he was at a different career center. He always seems to show up for our FFA pie eating contest. I didn't always know. This one time, no. But no, he's a great supporter, and you know, I've been on some committees with him, and he's very open, and he listens and stuff. So it's a pleasure to have Paulo Emiria, Superintendent of Public Instruction, here today.
Thank you so very much. I'm going to one-up Senator. I had even less to do with this facility than he did. But at the same time, it's just a delight to be here. And I think the first thing I need to do, for whatever the state did to stand in your way back then, I'm going to apologize. I'm sorry. What I appreciate, though, is that you were persistent, that you stuck to it. You had a vision and you drove it. And that's why we're standing here today. Because we all know, and I totally echo what Senator Huffman says, is that the strength of our education system is not at the federal level or the state level. It's really each and every one of you in this room, along with the teachers and the administrators and the students, to be honest with you, that make a great education. And we don't find ourselves standing in a building like this
if that community isn't 100% behind the exciting, the amazing students and the potential that they have to bring greatness to their own futures and to greatness to this community. I want to echo what was said. Senator Huffman is a great, fantastic senator. He does a super job of representing this district. He's also a great champion for education causes. We enjoy working very closely with him. You also have a great State Board of Education member, Linda Haycock. She's sitting right here in front. She does a great job representing this area on the State Board of Education. And one of the things recently and it goes without saying, we have a fantastic auditor in the state of Ohio. They're about to start a performance audit of my agency, so I'm going to give you that opportunity. We actually have a very good relationship with this team and I.
Doesn't make sense.
One of the things the State Board recently did was develop a strategic plan for education. And that strategic plan is so much embedded by what I'm seeing here today. And it warms my heart, because the strategic plan tries to be forward-thinking. The idea behind it was, instead of being so reactive to everything, can we be more forward-thinking and set a trajectory for ourselves in terms of the excellence of our education system? And the vision of the strategic plan is really around students, meeting the needs of the whole child and ensuring that students are challenged, prepared, and empowered. And what better place to find that challenge, that preparation, and that empowerment than in a place like this beautiful facility? We drove up the drive, walked into the building, and your breath is taken away by the beauty, the architecture. One of the most favorite things I love to do when I travel across this great state is go to new building openings. Because there's an energy that's sort of palpable. There's an indescribable feeling of forward motion and excitement, and who knows what the future holds. We can do anything. And the building forms sort of a foundation for that, but it's the people that sit behind the accomplishment that is represented by that building that are really the ones that make a difference. And that's each and every one of you. So I hope as you look around you, you see yourself in this building, and that you take ownership about ensuring the future success of this building as well, because that is where the community also has to play a role. I applaud you for what you have done, the levies, the coordination, the planning, the building. There are thousands and thousands of decisions that have to be made, processes that have to be executed, ideas that have to be nurtured, that should culminate in this kind of building. But it's just a starting point. It's just a starting point. Senator Huffman, he talked about career technical education. And I'm going all over the state, and I see career technical education in a resurgence, because it's finally dawning on people that career technical education actually opens more doors for students than just a normal, what you and I might think about high school experiences that we have. And that's what's exciting. When I talk to students in career technical education fields, they are excited, they are engaged, they are thoughtful, they are hardworking. They see the possibilities. I was recently at a career center, and I said to him, what do you want to be? And he said, I want to be a trauma neurosurgeon. And I was amazed that here was the student that wanted to be a trauma neurosurgeon. On the back of his t-shirt, he was in the EMT program. Think about how much that student will be ahead of his peers. And not to denigrate, AP biology and AP physics and lots of, college preparation courses, but to actually have real-world hands-on experience in a medical technology, emergency medical technology field will open so many parts of his brain to his future career that will make him an amazing student at whatever college or university he decides to attend, and that will also set him up for success. And time and time and time again, that is the narrative of these students. There's a past history of career technical education where somehow it was, less than other high school experiences, or it was somehow second rate. But that's gone. That is gone. And you will see that if you haven't toured this building. I know that's going to be happening here. Take an opportunity to look at all the equipment that's modern, that's new, all the business partnerships that have emerged, because that is what's going to ensure that these students become, not only have a future success for themselves, but become the future success of this community, this state, and this nation. One of the things that excites me the most about career technical education is this idea that it nurtures student engagement. So many times, when I walk into a high school, I'll notice, and I know it's not intentional, but I'll see students that really aren't excited. They're kind of bored because they know they have this checklist of courses they're going through. Some of them are talking about graduation requirements. They probably have a piece of paper that says, okay, well, here's what I have to do if I want to graduate, and all those sort of lockstep things that happen each year. And they're missing the magic. They're missing the excitement that really ought to be captured in a high school experience. I've talked to parents who will come up to me and say, Paulo, my son, he hates going to school. He hates high school. And I think, what a shame. I'll tell you, the students I talk to in career technical education programs, I have never heard a single one of them say they hate their experience. What I've heard is how they have a sense of belonging. It's a specialness about being part of a program, being part of a community of students with a common sense of direction in what they're trying to accomplish, with a team of great teachers who are committed, with business partners and opportunities to go and do internships and apprenticeships and so forth and so on. And they're excited and they're energized and they see where they're going. The other thing I want to tip my hat to is the Career Technical Student Organization. Some of you may not be familiar with them. The most notable one is often FFA, the Department of America, right? You also have, I've seen the Skills USA jackets, the red jackets that you see. If you don't know what that's about, ask some of the students and they'll tell you. Because what it is it says that, look, sometimes we think of a place like this as simply a place for workforce development. That somewhere we're developing people that need to be in our factories, in our fields, in our offices, and so forth and so on, to do the work. But it is so much more than that. It is so much more. And organizations like FFA and Skills USA and DECA and all the other career technical student organizations, they have a whole strand of activities around leadership development and team building and project development and design thinking and innovation and creativity and entrepreneurship, all those things. Because those are the things that make up the richness of a community, the richness of a society. And when you put a building like this here, with the kind of programs that it has, it's not only talking about student success. What I say is career technical education is a win-win-win. Students win, hands down. Because they're going to be excited about the programs they're in. They're actually going to learn more about mathematics and English and social studies by virtue of being in a hands-on setting. And they're going to really be prepared for success. These students will be better in college than almost any, and on par with any high school in the state. So it's a win for students. It's a win for business people, because business people find that career technical education really speaks to them. They can go in and say, I'm going to build a partnership with this program because I have this kind of equipment, or I'm a manufacturer, or I'm a health services provider, or I'm a business person, or I'm in a construction trades, and I see these kids and I can help, I can partner with those teachers in this program to expand their knowledge and make sure they're using the most current tools and equipment. And I'll have a little bit of a pipeline of workforce, and that's a great thing. And even if they don't come to work for me, they'll know how great this sector is, and they'll be partners in the sector. But then it's also great for community. If you think about some of the demographics that I look at, if you look at the same ones, the population in some of our rural parts of the state are declining. And yet, what great places to live and work and raise a family. And so when you put something like this here, and you help students understand all the great career opportunities, you're also signaling to them that this is a place to be. You can live a full, vibrant, successful, and wonderful life right here in Celina, right here in Auglaize, Mercer County. And that's a fantastic thing. So it's a win-win-win, and that's why I love what this building represents and the fact that these students are in for such a successful future. I want to end by challenging each and every one of you that today is not the end. Yes, let's celebrate what has been accomplished, and I salute you if you're a taxpayer, if you were on one of the boards, if you're part of the faculty and staff, if you were part of the construction team, or whatever. I salute each and every one of you because I know everybody here assembled has played a part. But I want you also to use this opportunity to recommit yourself, rededicate yourself to the success of, first and foremost, our children, because our obligation is to each child and making sure each one of them is successful, regardless of what it takes, and finding those who will benefit from all kinds of personalization in their educational experiences, including what can be had right here at TriStar. Commit yourself to the students, commit yourself to the success of your education systems, and continue to make sure that you foster partnerships. Because the ultimate message in all of this is that when we work together, we will always be stronger. When we work together, we will always be stronger. That means each and every one of you can bring something to the table on a regular basis, on an ongoing basis, that will make this partnership blossom and grow and prosper to the point where 10 years from now, we'll be sitting here breaking ground on an expansion for this building, because that is what the next phase of something of this kind of vibrancy needs. So again, I want to thank you on behalf of the state of Ohio. Thank you so very, very much for what you have done to make this wonderful place. This place that will become not only training tomorrow's workforce today, as the sign in the back of the room so brilliantly says, but it's training tomorrow's leaders, and training tomorrow's entrepreneurs, and training tomorrow's innovators, and training tomorrow's creators, and training tomorrow's lawyers and doctors and insurance salesmen and state senators and auditors and you name it. This is where that development will happen in the interest of the success of our children, of this fantastic community, of our great state, and this great nation. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Paulo. Do want to, I did look forward a little bit, and you said add on. My 2 boys and wife this last couple of years, you could ask my oldest boy, and he'll still regurgitate. It's a 9.95 mil, $25 million. He's a little laughing, you know. And the other young one, he knew every festival, every free ride tickets for the year that we went and did things, and every free hot dog and snow cone we found in our 2-county area. But yeah, it's been an experience, and it's been fun. And I can't thank everyone here enough, and I sincerely apologize if I did forget someone, because everyone doesn't have a part of this. And afterwards, you take a tour. If you want to get cookies and water, first you can come back to it. But one of our former students actually has her own business from a TriStar student, Julie Owens. And she does a tremendous job, has her own business, and I think has another job. She goes to college, so it's just very successful. Be assured, as I talked earlier about vision and being pioneers, TriStar will be a community center of learning and continue with that vision that was started back in the fall of 1983. Thank you very much for your attendance and support, and enjoy touring the facility. And please come up. I haven't seen you for a while or something. Come up, talk to our students, talk to our teachers. They'll be in the room and ask questions, because we're pretty proud of this place. Thank you.